For a long time, if you asked someone in Europe to describe the Dutch military, they would have started with what was missing. Fewer tanks, smaller budgets, brigades folded into multinational commands. A country better known for trade ships and diplomacy than armored divisions. But history has a habit of circling back. By 2026, something quiet but unmistakable has happened in the Netherlands. There were no dramatic speeches. No parades announcing a grand rearmament. Just steady investment, careful planning, and a clear understanding that in a world growing less stable, capability matters. And it begins not with a tank or a jet, but with 8 soldiers standing in the cold. Picture a flat stretch of land under a gray northern sky. The wind carries the smell of damp earth and diesel. An infantry group moves in a tight file along a tree line. They are not large in number, just 8. But every step they take is calculated. The Dutch infantry group is built around something deceptively simple: pairs. Every soldier has a buddy. 2 men form a team. 4 teams form a squad. It sounds basic, but in combat, simplicity is survival. When contact comes, it comes fast. A crack of rifle fire. Dirt kicking up near their boots. Instantly, the formation fractures with purpose, not panic. 2 teams push left, 2 peel right. What was a single unit becomes multiple angles of movement and overlapping fields of fire. If one man goes down, his partner already knows his job. There is no hesitation. At the center of it all is the squad leader, usually a sergeant. His rifle is compact, maneuverable, meant for tight spaces and quick reactions. But his real weapon is not slung over his shoulder. It's clipped to his vest, a radio, digital navigation tools, encrypted communication systems. He is tracking friendly positions, watching drone feeds, listening to higher command. In modern war, awareness is power, and he is the nerve center. Beside him is the deputy, a corporal who doesn't just follow orders, he commands when needed. When the squad splits into 2 4-man elements, the corporal takes one half and moves independently. In urban terrain, this matters. One team can clear a building while the other secures an alley. Flexibility isn't a bonus. It's doctrine. When the shooting intensifies, the sound changes. A deeper, steadier rhythm joins the sharp cracks of rifles. The machine gunner has gone to work. The Dutch rely on light, belt-fed machine guns that fire the same ammunition as the standard rifles, but in sustained bursts. Suppression is everything. While the machine gun pins the enemy down, the rest of the squad moves. A rifleman dashes across open ground. Another drops to a knee and launches a 40mm grenade toward a window. Smoke blooms. The squad advances. Behind that movement is training that emphasizes independence. Dutch infantry are expected to think. If communications drop, if the leader is cut off, each pair still understands the objective. It's a small formation designed to fracture and reform without losing direction. Then there's the threat no infantryman wants to see: armor. In earlier decades, the Netherlands made the controversial decision to retire its main battle tanks. It was a budgetary move in a different strategic era. But as tensions in Europe rose, reality forced adaptation. Today, Dutch forces once again operate Leopard tanks alongside Germany while awaiting the arrival of their newest generation vehicles later in the decade. The temporary solution became a bridge to a renewed armored capability. And those tanks matter, especially in places like the narrow corridor between Belarus and Kaliningrad, where NATO's eastern flank is most vulnerable. But even at the squad level, the Dutch are not helpless against heavy steel. One soldier carries a reusable rocket launcher designed for short to medium-range engagements. It's quick to shoulder, quick to fire. Another team, when assigned, may carry a more advanced guided missile system capable of striking targets several kilometers away. Unlike older fire-and-forget weapons, this missile allows the operator to observe and adjust during flight. In the hands of a trained crew, it becomes a precise, lethal answer to armored threats. Yet infantry rarely fight alone. The ground begins to vibrate before you see it. Tracks grinding over dirt. The silhouette appears low, angular, purposeful. The Dutch infantry fighting vehicle rolls forward, turret scanning. These vehicles are undergoing major modernization. They carry infantry into battle under armor, but they are no longer just transport. Equipped with advanced protection systems designed to intercept incoming rockets, they can detect a threat mid-flight and destroy it before impact. It's a dramatic shift. Where once a single anti-tank hit could mean catastrophe, now there is a fighting chance. Their cannons are powerful enough to tear through light armor, drones, and fortified positions. Some are fitted with long-range anti-tank missiles integrated directly into the turret, giving them reach measured in kilometers. Inside, infantry sit shoulder to shoulder, waiting for the ramp to drop. When it does, they spill out and fan into formation, steel and flesh working in tandem. Further behind the line, another kind of power waits in silence. Artillery. The Dutch operate one of the most respected self-propelled howitzers in the world. It can fire multiple rounds in rapid succession, adjusting the angle of each shot so that they all land on target at the same moment. To those on the receiving end, it feels as if the sky itself has collapsed. And beyond traditional shells, new rocket systems extend Dutch reach far deeper than before. Precision-guided rockets can strike targets hundreds of kilometers away. Command centers, logistics hubs, air defense batteries. In modern war, distance is shrinking. What once required aircraft can now be done from concealed positions on the ground. Above it all, the airspace hums. The rotor thump of an attack helicopter cuts through the air. Designed for close air support and anti-armor missions, it has proven itself in multiple conflicts. Its sensors sweep the battlefield, feeding data to ground units. Missiles hang beneath its stub wings. Higher still, nearly invisible against the sky, stealth fighters patrol. These jets are not just fast, they are information hubs. Their sensors collect, fuse, and distribute data across the battlespace. A pilot might detect a threat hundreds of kilometers away and pass targeting information to a ground battery or a ship at sea. War is no longer fought in isolated domains. The Dutch understand this. Integration is their strength. Then there are the soldiers who operate in the shadows. The Netherlands maintains highly capable special operations forces. These are men selected not just for physical endurance, but for judgment under extreme pressure. Their missions range from direct action to deep reconnaissance far behind enemy lines. Their rifles are customized, suppressed when needed, configured for specific tasks. Some operations demand near-silent movement, using specialized ammunition designed for subsonic flight. Their vehicles are lightweight, air-transportable platforms that can roll straight out of a helicopter and into action. Imagine a night insertion. A transport helicopter hovers briefly over a dusty clearing. Ropes drop. Figures descend. Engines shut down in the distance. Within minutes, vehicles are moving, headlights off, guided by night vision and GPS. These units operate where conventional forces cannot. But perhaps the most important question isn't what the Dutch military owns, it's where it stands. In Lithuania, Dutch troops form a key part of NATO's forward presence. They rotate in and out, for months deployed, 8 months home. Mechanized infantry, tank platoons, artillery, engineers, a combined arms package designed not for conquest but deterrence. The message is simple. Any aggression will be met immediately by multiple nations, not just one. Elsewhere, Smaller Dutch contingents contribute to missions in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and maritime security operations. It's a global footprint, but one rooted in alliances. And that may be the defining characteristic of the Dutch military in 2026. It is not massive. It is not built for unilateral wars. It is built to plug seamlessly into a larger system, NATO, bringing high-end capabilities, advanced technology, and well-trained personnel. The transformation didn't happen overnight. It was gradual. Budget increases tied to alliance commitments. Modernization programs phased over years. Rebuilding armored strength after realizing its importance. Investing in air power that can survive contested skies. Upgrading infantry vehicles to survive the modern anti-tank battlefield. The Netherlands learned something many nations are relearning now. Peace does not eliminate the need for preparedness. On a cold morning in Eastern Europe, as a Dutch infantry squad moves across frost-covered ground, their breath visible in the air, you can see the result of that lesson. 8 soldiers. 4 buddy pairs. Supported by armor, artillery, aircraft, and allies. Not flashy. Not loud. But capable. And in today's world, capability is what counts. The question isn't whether the Dutch military is large. It isn't. The question is whether it is ready. From mechanized infantry protected by advanced systems, to long-range precision fires, to stealth aircraft feeding real-time intelligence across the battlefield, the Netherlands has quietly ensured that the answer is yes. And in an era where the security landscape can shift in months rather than decades, that quiet readiness might be the most powerful statement of all.